Why, good evening, you beautiful souls. Welcome to another Satsang. I hope that you're having a great day thus far. We're going to get really right into the happenings and the magic this evening. So, liberation and truth. The most important thing to recognize here is our liberation is one of freedom from assumptions, freedom from past tensions and energies, so we can really step forward into this new energy, this new wave, this new season we're entering. So in the theme of spring, it's all about that renewal, rebirth. So time to let go of all those old happenings and awaken to be a new you. So go ahead and get those last few wiggles out. Shake it out. Get a nice big smile on your face. When you hear the first 3 taps of the singing bowl, allow yourself to take a nice deep inhale with each sound of the bowl as it rings. Transform that exhale into a mighty Om. Relax the jaw and open the mouth as you resonate that A note of relief. And as you close the mouth with that big smile on your face, the U and the M will form naturally. I lovingly invite you in the space of the heart, an opportunity to let go, to rest, to make that full connection with that highest self, and unfold that gateway, that portal of the heart that connects us directly to Source. Begin to distance yourself from the attachment of the internal and external happenings. See yourself as a silent witness, the mute observer. Begin to watch the thoughts, the emotions, and the physical sensations and happenings at a stance of a distance and separation. If the body is restless, give it the task of following the breath. Allow yourself to again sink deeper into the state of simple awareness. This silent observer, that instantaneous knower, that window of awareness. Continue this process of letting go, removing and distancing yourself from this attached sense of experiencing. And with this final tap of the singing bowl, again, shift your attention fully to the sound of that ringing. And as it fades into the silence, allow that backdrop of calm and peace to be the primary observation within your experience, your main focus of attention. Everything in this human experience is a tool for liberation. But there fundamentally has to be a yearning for it. It's the primary force, it's the initial cause. This desire to know. That childlike curiosity. Fundamentally, this first process, in order to be liberated, starts with that aspect of recognition. Well, liberation from what? That is the primordial question we will be exploring this evening. Liberation from what? For in truth, it's a loaded statement. Do we want to be free of the everyday monotony, the conditionings that were passed on generation after generation, or the identity itself? It's that aspect of initial desire, that highest form of aspiration and yearning that takes us deep into this question, deep into this rabbit hole of introspection. Yet the only source of liberation that matters is the one we have on our own limitations of assumption. For how can we ever receive life's grace if we refuse to move our hand from the top of our cup to receive it? What happens when we let go of everything and seek to go beyond our current understanding of self, of life? Liberation from everything we think we know. For that ultimately leads to the correlation of liberation and truth. Liberation from everything we think we know leads directly to that realm of the unknown, the new, and opens our heart back up to that realm of discovery. Take a nice deep breath here. A long, slow inhalation, filling yourself up with as much of that love and air as you can, and then effortlessly transitioning into a long release, an effortless exhale. Allow the body to naturally find a rhythm that's comfortable. And continue to take these deep, long breaths and slow releases through the nose. And as you draw in that next breath, here we take in the love, that energy of light that helps us, that excites us with that potential energy for the new. And as we exhale, we release all of the old tensions and energies, thoughts and concepts that hold us back. Each breath, you continue to clean out your own mind, your own heart, and your own pain body of stored up trauma, of those points of stagnation within your own being and development, and all of those vices and negative habits that harm you and hold you back from realizing and witnessing your full potential. For it's here with this intentional breathing and conscious letting go that we set our hearts, we direct the sails, that causal force that will initiate the cause and effect, this cascading domino chain of events that will lead you to manifesting everything you seek. But again, it takes a direction. So too your own inquisitiveness, your own curiosity, as that divine child you are. Bring it back to that sense of what you know, what you assume, what you hold on to the most. Let everything go in this moment. Know here that there is nothing but the divine flow. You are simply that window of awareness to experience it all. It's here in these moments of letting go, of simply being, that we witness that profound shift, that divine energetic flow, that harmony of the now, that effortless expression of being. Mechanically, it is the detachment. It's the letting go of the wheel. It's forgetting that we don't control the character as much as we assume we do. And it's simply enjoying life for what it's presenting us. And it's here in these moments when we let go, when we simply allow life to play itself out through us, that the body releases the tensions, the heart lets go of the pain, and the mind silences itself, and we simply experience life in the most childlike and loving of states. Everything we think we're going to fear and hold tighter onto when it's that moment to let go is but a shadow of the mind trying to withhold the heart from experiencing the most divine pleasures. It's a test for us to really fall in love and trust not only this concept of life, but ultimately ourselves, for they are one and the same. And when this recognition arises, that profound and infinite mountain of trust and faith will swell up, ground you to that knowing that you are protected and guided, that this divine film and play is scripted by you. It's a surrender. Again, it's a liberation from our assumption that we're alone, that we're disconnected. But to experience this vast grandness of experience, that opening up of the heart, the knowing of your connection as divine with the divine, amongst the divine. It arises when we let go of what we know. Life is always trying to show us the truth, but we keep closing our eyes to it. Concepts, wash them away. Past experiences, they matter not. The only thing we can ever and should ever give our attention to is the now. For that flow of life is the raging river. And it's always streaming, it's always going, it's always flowing. And when we take our eyes off of it, we miss the beauty. Take a nice deep breath here. Hold the breath just as long as you drew it in. Exhale just as long. And again, hold the breath just as long, empty of air. Before repeating this box breathing, this seasonal breath, we inhale again, bringing in that life, that freshness of spring, holding that energy within the form, that summer heat, before we transition back into the fall, that letting go of the breath. And as we remain empty, the stillness of winter, we come back to that spring breath. Find a pattern and rhythm that's comfortable for the body, and again, simply observe. Allow the breathing to naturally take form. If able, place one hand on the stomach. And it's here where we simply shift our attention to the sound of the breath leaving the body and entering it, that air around the nose, and the feeling, the pressure expanding and contracting, not only of the diaphragm, but the entirety of the stomach as you fill yourself up with that air, that love, that prana and chi. If you don't already, again, have a smile on your face. And as you continue to breathe and observe the subtle sensation of the body, continue to take that awareness to these subtle energies around the physical form. For what is the most great assumption that we have in this experience is that we are contained solely within the flesh. Again, allow the body to take over the breathing. as your awareness begins to shift larger and larger to the periphery, observing the subtle energies around the form, going beyond even the physical sensations of the body, allowing the hands to drop whenever naturally to their preferred position, coming back to this sense of oneness. Letting go of the concept here that you are just a physical body and embracing that knowing in the heart, in your experience, that you are beyond the flesh. Proclaim it to yourself that I am beyond physical matter. I am aware of the subtle energies. I am beyond time and space, for I am the divine and infinite. It's this letting go of these assumptions of the past and the physicality in which we live that liberates us from the normality, from the monotony. As we enter into the magic when we embrace the truth of our own knowing, of this realm of the heart. Even proclaiming such words, you can observe the heart smile. Like a dog, the tail becomes excited when the beingness, our highest self, resonates with the experience in which we're living currently. And allow that smile of the heart to uplift and radiate you. Allow that energy to simply flow and observe the beauty as life presents you with a divine experience. And the more you let go, the more you liberate yourself from this tension to control and dictate the experience, the more beautiful it becomes, the more magical the happenings. So rest. Rest in this stillness, rest in this calm, this loving womb of your own creation. As I share that love, I share that light. In this bridge of the heart, for it's the one realm in where we're always connected to one another and to Source. It's here we let go, as if we're sinking down into a deep ocean of love. Allow it to take you. Whatever arises in your experience, pay it no attention to a point of focus, but allow everything to play out. Observe everything indiscriminately. See, observe, and sense all at the same level. Allow it to unfold naturally. Know that everything is already happening without your control or need to tinker. Observe your experiences like you're watching a movie, silently waiting in the theater with that excitement for every frame that plays. It's here in these moments of stillness and calm that we begin to foster and cultivate this ground of being, our base state. It's that effortless flow of the now. It's that seamless transition into experiences that brings us to the moment of the play. That initial union connection with Source. And it allows the beautiful harmony of the physical matter to dance playfully with the eternal spirit as we experience that unique expression that we know as ourselves. And it's here with these recognitions of the heart that the pureness in which you are is always there, that your potential is but a letting go away. That the fullness of life and the grandness of this experience is just waiting one loving embrace. The cessation of doing and the allowance of being. The willingness to simply watch and allow life to unfold and play through you. For you're one and the same. So rest and lay back within your divine theater of the mind. And simply watch this epic divine film and cinema unfold. Give every frame of now that love, and witness the truth of this reality unfold as it'll shine and radiate through the heart, your home. When you hear the final tap of the singing bowl, take a long and deep inhale. With your exhale, transform it into a mighty Om. And allow that gentle chord to resonate in the heart as the warmth continues to shine and radiate. Namaste. I bow to the divine within you. Thank you so much for tapping in. Don't forget to smash that like if you enjoy. And with that being said, I just got to say, the aspect of letting go, bringing us to this point of the new, is an inevitable process that we must be willing to accept. Much love, brother. And when we experience the tension and suffering in life, that's because it's when we don't accept really what life is trying to present us. And that's probably one of the biggest misconceptions of meditation and the spiritual development is that, at times you need to force and silence the mind. The dropping away of the mind is a natural happening. But one thing that arises within this human experience is that there are stored traumas and pains. There are stagnant energies that need to move around. And sometimes your beingness, when you're living it out, isn't ready to experience it. It will cause a lot more damage than healing and good if it's forced. So it's one thing to kind of look at the sense of in the fullness of our experience can be witnessed when we allow it to unfold without tension, without judgment, without assumption. And that's probably a dangerous realm here that we get into because, what's the biggest assumption other than the fact that we think we're just this physical body, and when you have that identification with thoughts that you think it's you, when the mind is playing stuff out, there's going to be a lot of things going over your head. You're going to miss a lot because you're perceiving it from a sense of illusory or falsehood from the start. It's just a misconception. That's mine. So liberation from the get-go in anyone's search, any aspirant for truth and liberation, it's to Let go of the assumption that you are just confined to this body. I'm telling you, the movie theater and how we experience life is probably, again, the closest metaphor that you can experientially compare and practice in real time. Like everyone watches a show. People are listening in the comments. What's one show that you really love and watch? You can leave that in the comments right now. No judgment. Um, but the same enthusiasm in which you watch that show, if you observe your meditation in that same state, if you take that same movie like or otherness sense of your witnessing in your meditation, that movie theater metaphor becomes an intimate tool to apply, to play with. It almost gives you a little nozzle of adjustment. And that's the beauty of it, because the more that you can get into the flow and do those activities that take you to that state of just kicking back in your film and watching life unfold silently, that's how you start to liberate and let things go, and bringing it to the point of when there's an active mind. And the misconceptions is that sometimes the mind needs to play stuff out. The body needs to experience things. And I'm going to give a shout out um, to a sister of a partner, Crystal. Gotta give a shout out to you. So friends of hers who are listening, tap in. Um, because I was introduced into just some different experiences of breath work and um, I guess you would say sound healing, or some Kundalini experiences. And I've had Kundalini experiences. I've gone through that ladder and phase in my own personal experiences of just the inner looking. And never once have I done a conscious one because of my own kind of tensions and apprehensions. But to be doing these things and experiencing the witnessing, and when you apply that kickback in the theater and simply let all the mudras and postures and things take you in these experiences, and the sounds allow the body to open things up. When you watch things as if you're watching a film, the body releases what it needs to. Again, it's divine design. It knows better than you. And I think that's probably one of the biggest points of tension that a lot of people have, is that there's that want and willingness and eagerness to control and to tinker with life rather than just to let it play itself out. And that's one of the things that I experience. Consciously you can work through so many things. And although emotionally and mentally there was not any type of physical or energetic um, kind of like anchor, there was stuff released and let go of that was just like cleaning the body out. But again, it could only get to that point of deep cleaning when I just allowed it to do its thing. And that is, again, really one of the biggest purposes of this meditation this evening, is to point you back to that state of just letting go, liberation from suffering, from pain, from trauma, drama, chaos, and all the weirdness in life. It arises when we are willing to allow things to be. It's the letting go. It's the tensionless state of effortlessness, of being, that allows life to really not take the wheel, but to guide you through the raging current of its force. Because life is always trying to really pivot you to the most efficient and optimal path of realization, of pureness, of truth, of community, of compassion. It's always trying to uplift your experience. But when we get in the game of self-sabotage, when we think we know, we interfere with it. Trust in life arises through giving it the chance to guide you and letting go. So I hope that this meditation, I hope that the satsang experience and all the things we chatted about help you in this search, because right now we're entering this phase where you can really lean into life, and it's going to take you to magical places because the energy behind the universe is picking up its intensity. And if you can shift that to that recognition of the love, oof, then it's going to be a tasty film. So kick back, grab some of that mental popcorn and just enjoy life as it unfolds. Oh, I love you so much. I love you so much. And this is the stuff that excites me, because the more people that allow life to simply flow through them, and the more that people can tap into that eternal now, oh my gosh, you become such a force of beauty and magic. And I already know that the transformations and the happenings and the beautiful experiences and the sauce moments and spice moments, they're just gravitating towards you, because life is always pushing us towards this. And when you're finally in harmony with it, it just amplifies everything. So the more you let go, the more you know, the more you experience, and the more life flows. So with that, may the fruit of knowledge offer a seed. That seed, may your love, will, and intuition give life and nourishment, for a tree shall grow, and in its shade may you find peace, and offer peace to all whom ask. Namaste. I bow to the divine within you. I love you so much. Take care. Have a great night. And most importantly, let someone you know that you love them. More and more, the force of love shall drown out the shadows of dark. So take care. Spread that love and light. Peace.